Hi guys and welcome. In today's video we're going to be talking about building a PC for under $1,500 to target new games that are coming out. The games that I am concerned about are games like Tokyo Ghostwire, Shadow Warrior, Elden Ring, as it is the month of February and we're going into one of the best release times for modern games. You know, a lot of games are coming out and a lot of PC gamers have been waiting to upgrade their rigs, change their rigs, get some new stuff. This is going to serve as a guide for you if you are running something that is currently on screen, which is a quad-core 8-threaded CPU and a GTX 1060. I parted this out based on the Steam hardware survey to show what is considered a common gaming PC, and we're going to look to do a comprehensive upgrade for under $1,500 to target the new games that are coming out, while at the same time not overspending our money and keeping the budget in line. The reason I'm doing this, as of February 22, prices are still terrible and many people are fed up of waiting. We have basically been waiting for 2 years, and for a lot of people that's unreasonable. You can't expect people to wait forever to buy products, to play games. You're just going to have to bite the bullet and accept some of the bad costs and get into PC gaming if you want to get in. That's just a fact. So for the CPU, I recommend the 12400. The 12400F is usually cheaper, however, due to the fact that it's not really in supply and people have it in a lot of demand, it's selling out and it's close to the 12400. I recommend just taking the 12400. It has integrated graphics, which is great for troubleshooting, and maybe you could set it up in OBS to do your recordings too, to help with streaming and recording. You don't really need a CPU cooler, I think, because the 65-watt TDP is not usually a problem. We're going with a B660 motherboard, and we're keeping the price down, and we're just going to go with an average one. I recommend going with obviously one with 4 memory slots and enough SATA ports for you. That usually the average is around 6, so something with 4 to 6 SATA ports so you could add storage down the line. Memory, I recommend going with something around 3000 megahertz with a cast latency about 15, so CL15 or CL16. 3000 megahertz is usually good for people, and we want a 2x16 kit to get dual channel. 16 gigabytes is really the minimum for all games. A lot of games suffer without 16 gigabytes, so we're just going to add that in there. Storage. Now, storage is a bit personal because I don't know the size of games everyone is going to run, but I recommend a 1 terabyte as your boot drive because the size of games is ridiculous. Most games at 100 gigabytes for a lot of AAA games, and even indie games are getting up to 30, 40, 50, 60 gigabytes, especially when you start to throw in things like mods, high resolution texture packs. These things add space and you need storage. That's a fact. You're just going to have to live with it. So the Crucial MX is my recommended storage. It's a solid one. It has cache. It is very good at transferring large file sizes, and it's very reliable. As you can see from the reviews, it's a solid option and it's under $100 for a 1 terabyte. Now for the video card, I know this is not going to be a popular one for a lot of people who may want to be NVIDIA users, but the 6600 XT is an excellent graphic card for the money. This model here is going for, wow, that's a lot cheaper, but that's very good in price. A gigabyte triple fan model for the 6600. No, that's the 6600. We want the XTs. 6600 XTs, and again, gigabyte model, triple fan, excellent. We're going with this. This has a lot of good performance. It has good rasterization. The RTX features aren't overly strong, but it's a solid card for 1080p and some 1440p. 4K 30 FPS is also okay on it. Now for cases, I don't really see the point of spending large obscene amount of money on your case. Cases are personal things, so you can modify, change your case as you see fit. I'm just going to go with a mid tower that's comfortable to build in and has a mesh front. That's usually my basic solution to many things with a case. Cases are up to you. Power supply, I recommend straight off starting with an 80 plus bronze power supply. The reason being, you want quality in your power supply, as you do not want a power supply failure taking out your whole system. Nobody wants to deal with that in 2022 with the prices of PC parts. You don't want to have a problem with your power supply. Let's see, scanning through the deals, these prices. This seems to be a really good price here. EVGA bronze rated, solid power supply, 700 watts. So that's going to give you a lot of room to upgrade your parts if you want to use higher demanding parts in terms of power draw. It's not modular, but again, cable management and some patience could deal with that. And as you could see, we are comfortably under $1,500, a budget PC, and I say that comparatively given that we have PC bills going all up to $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, and this one is comfortably under $2,000, under $1,500, and you're going to get excellent value for the money. Now, I'm going to explain my core choices here now, which is the 12400F and why I chose it. As you can see, this is from Hardware Unbox. They usually do very in-depth and proper testing. I recommend checking out their reviews on the 6600 XT and obviously the 12400. As you can see, the 12400, even limited to 65 watts, performs extremely well. It has comparisons to the previous gen 8-core products, and it's certainly beating out the Ryzen 5 3600. So you are getting a strong gaming performance, and you are going to have headroom in your games. And mind you, pay attention, this is with a 6900 XT at 1080p. That's absolutely ridiculous, but I know there are esports players who are going to have a similar setup. Now, as you could see, we also went with the 6600 XT, and the simple reason, again using the same source for the averages and the testing, you could see that the 6600 XT performs exceptionally well in rasterization. You are going to be able to target 1080p and over 100 FPS in your video games. You're going to be able to get strong performance, and you're going to be able to play your games at great frame rates. This is really the standard that most people should upgrade to, and I think this is going to work well. Now, my closing thoughts and my closing advice into this is going to follow in two categories. If you are building the PC brand new and you're going to buy all new parts and you have a bit of money to spend, again, this is a very large cost, I would recommend to add an extra 16 gigabytes and make this 32 gigabytes. Now, if you don't want to, you could buy two 16 gigabyte kits depending on the price, but I recommend 32 gigabytes mainly because you may want to be recording, editing, streaming. Also too, it's very useful when you have multiple monitors and you have, let's say, on one monitor your game running, and in your next monitor you have a let's play or a guide, especially if you're going after 100% achievements on Steam for a game you really like. I think that's recommended, and it's only a $50 amount from the previous amount, right? It's still under $1,500. And for storage, I recommend getting a 4 terabyte hard drive for your big files, because to be honest, game sizes are ridiculous, and this is a Western Digital. It's fine for mass storage. As you can see, you're going to be able to have 5 terabytes of storage. Now, that's up to you if you want. That's just additional, it's not needed. But as you could see, this is a very much a comprehensive upgrade to this. You have a far stronger CPU. You're going from a quad core, an old quad core with only 8 threads, to a proper 6 core with 12 threads and modern IPC. You're going from a far weaker graphic card, the GTX 1060, to a 6600 XT, which is basically double. And sometimes if the 1060 is getting like 50 FPS, with this you could be clearing 80, 90, 100 FPS. So it's going to be a big difference, but that is also depending on the game and how well it's optimized. So take that into account. Now, just to close this off, if you are upgrading and let's say you have a good case, a good power supply and good storage, you don't need to spend this much money. So you just remove storage, Let's say you just maybe want, you could even remove that because a lot of people have hard drives. You move the case and you move the power supply and you just want your main internals replaced. It's $1,000. Now, if you don't want 16 gigabytes, if you only want 16 gigabytes and not the 32, you under $1,000 for your upgrade. You have your CPU, your new motherboard, your new memory, and a new graphics card, and you're clearing a lot. This should give most people a healthy room to play their games, record their games, stream their games. At the very least, you're going to have a better time on this than older systems. However, the investment cost has gone up due to the massive price increase in these graphic cards. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a nice day. Thank you all.